Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome here if you are new, joining for the first time. Thanks for coming on, clicking on this video. Today we're not going to be fishing in this video. This should be pretty short. That's the goal. Just a quick tutorial, some questions and answers of things I had questions about and have figured out, gotten answered from friends on how to spool a centerpin reel. I'm getting into centerpin fishing, and yeah, I had a bunch of questions where I was specifically going to spool the reel and many other things as well, but we won't get into that. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys some of the things I learned, some little things that are honestly pretty easy to look over and to get stumped on, as I was. And I'm going to just be showing that to you guys, how I went about spooling my centerpin reel, and actually give a somewhat of a tutorial. And yeah, the reason I'm doing this is because I could not find very much at all on YouTube and the internet in general on how to spool a centerpin reel, and just little questions regarding that. The most information I was able to find, which was very helpful, was on Blood Run Fishing, their website. They make a lot of float fishing gear, and yeah, they had a lot of stuff about centerpin fishing, but I figured I'd make a quick video for you guys to, yeah, just make it easy for you, because it was a little bit of a process for me. So yeah, we'll get right into it. All right, guys, so one thing with centerpin fishing and spooling it is it's similar to fly fishing. You're going to have backing, which is what you guys can see on there right now, and then you'll have your mono or whatever your preferred main line is. So one thing I ran into that was kind of a headache is I had spooled this up completely before with I use braid as my backing, so my backing and my mono had it completely spooled, went to fish, and as you can see, my line right here, I'm right-handed. I reel on the left side, left-hand retrieve, and yeah, you need that line coming out of the top there on the front, and then it goes up into your guides and all that, and it's, you know, how it's supposed to be. But I had spooled it backwards, so I tied my line on, and I tied it the wrong direction and spooled it, so my line right there, which is correct right now, I had it coming out of this backside. So I went to fish, and it did not work at all. So I had to take all my line off. My mono ended up being junk, my braid as well, my backing, and I just had to redo it, buy new line, all of that. So you need to pay attention as you spool it to tie it the correct direction. And that's kind of how you go about switching the retrieve of the reel. So if I had had my reel on the other side with the line as it would have worked. But I went to switch it to the left side, did not work. I hope that makes sense. Probably all over the place. But yeah, it's just the direction you're reeling it on there while you spool it. So once you get that spooled correctly, depending on if you're left-handed retrieve or right-handed retrieve, how I did it, this reel, I wish I could show you, but it's just an aluminum core, and there's no holes or anything in it like some fly reels may have. So I just did it as I would a spinning reel. I tied it on with an arbor knot, got it real tight, and then put electrical tape around it. And the braid I'm using, you can use backing, obviously. Just go to the fly fishing section at Cabela's or whatever your local outdoor store is, and they'll have backing. But I just used some leftover braid I had, some Suffix 832. This is 40-pound neon lime color. So yeah, spooled that on there. This reel holds a little over 300 yards. So this is, I don't know exactly, but I'm thinking 150 yards of line for my backing. So you get that on there. Once you get to the point I'm at, and I'm actually going to do this with you guys. I'm not going to show the knot or anything, but I'm going to just do it. Next, I'll be putting on my mono, which is 12-pound line, and I'm going to be doing that with an FG knot. I'm not going to show that, but FG knot, you guys can look it up, find a quick tutorial. I'm going to do that real quick. And this is the line I got. It says Fine Float, Sunline, it's Japanese. And yeah, there's, I believe, 165 yards in this, and is 12-pound, like I said. I'm going to be throwing that right onto there with the FG knot. All right, so hopefully that shows up. But yeah, I've got my knot FG knot. Used it a few times, never had any issues. That's on there real nice and tight. And then yeah, now you should be connected to your spool. If you're not, then redo that and get connected. Yeah, once your spool's all ready to go, that FG knot is good, or whatever your preferred knot is for braid to mono. And what I like to do is keep the spool upwards like this, vertical. So it kind of, because the center pin sits vertical like that as well. So I'm gonna kind of just basically match it onto the reel. So I think that will help me avoid line twists. So I'm gonna do that, and yeah, get right back to you guys. So I'll stop there. One thing that always helps for center pin spooling, for any type of spooling, is keeping your line tight and making sure it's moving back and forth. You want it to lay evenly onto the spool. Sorry about the car noise, we're below a bridge, but yeah, I'm gonna just continue doing that. And one thing that is also important to know when to stop putting line on, if you still have a lot on the spool and you're getting towards the end, is, at least on my reel, I'll show you guys, there is, I hope you can see, I'm gonna just flip the camera. Right there on the other side by my arm, on the inside of that spool, there is that gap, that line. I'm not gonna spool my mono past that. That is there for a reason. You don't want your line flying everywhere and being a disaster. So yeah, we're gonna spool it up to there. All right, so it is all spooled up. I have 165 yards of mono on there. And yeah, that's how I've come to learn how to spool a centerpin reel. I am a beginner by all means. I've literally never even caught a fish on a centerpin. But if I had seen a video similar to this that I just made, it honestly would have helped me a lot. I had some headaches trying to even figure out how to do this, and I've been fishing my whole life. So yeah, I hope that was able to help in some form for any of you that are getting into centerpin fishing like me. And if you know a lot about centerpin fishing, have been doing it for a while, or even know a little bit more than me, comment down below with the way you spool a reel, any other tips with it. And yeah, if you have any questions, I might be able to answer some of them. So don't be afraid to ask, and I'm sure some other people will come along that have centerpin knowledge, and they can help reply to the questions as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you are new here. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, hit the like button if this helped you out, if you enjoyed. And again, the comment section is always open. Thanks again, guys. Tight lines.